lifted, and that at least some of our police officers could get the training that is required. We are seeing the behavior of the government as indicated by the leader of the opposition and member for Mikud South, indicating that the decisions pertaining to the CIP can have major implications for St. Lucia and for future security collaboration with countries that are like-minded. And so we have a lot of reasons to be concerned. So as we move forward to address these concerns, we need to realize that this government cannot manage the crime situation. We have heard what has happened in relation to licensed firearms. Who now issues licensed firearms in this country? Because the word on the street is that some people with questionable records are now holders of legal licensed firearms in this country. And then we see the escalation of the unlicensed firearms in this country. We saw a statement by a minister of government about somebody going to Deglo, whether it was to be dumped or whatever, because it's garbage they dumped at Deglo. But a couple days later, 2 bodies were found at Deglo. Is there a correlation? Is there something that somebody knew? You see, we as leaders in this country, we have a responsibility to be mindful about our words, our utterances. The Prime Minister said that he knows everything that is happening behind the scenes. He knows who is behind the crime situation. So have the police questioned the Prime Minister about the 2 bodies that appeared at Deglo? And when we ask these questions, people want to say that we are being political and we are politicizing crime. No. When Alan Shasney, leader of the opposition now, was in charge of government and the COVID situation existed, members of the Labour Party in opposition stood in the parliament and was holding the government responsible for the people who had died with COVID. Today the shoe is on the other foot, and when we ask the legitimate questions, people take offense to it. I have every reason to be concerned. Every right-thinking St. Lucian has a right to be concerned. The media has a right to be concerned. We have heard the government say on several occasions that crime should not be reported as crime is happening. Why? Why is it that way? Now, who do we turn to? When your government is failing you in handling with 3 ministers plus an attorney general, and we have seen no improvement in national security. The highest ranking officer in the government, the Prime Minister, is the Minister for National Security. And on several occasions we have asked the Prime Minister to relieve himself of this responsibility and give it to somebody who has the time and the energy to attend to these matters. But no, I don't see it as a demotion to the Prime Minister if he was to take away the portfolio from himself. I see it as doing something sensible and better for the country, because he has other things to occupy himself and his time. So appointing a minister for crime prevention is not a sin, because I am certain that there is an overlapping of responsibilities when people. You know what they say? Too many cooks spoil the soup. So this one is expecting that this is the responsibility of another person because you have national security, you have crime prevention, you have home affairs, you have the Attorney General's office. I mean, we know that things are chaotic in St. Lucia, but at least we can expect some semblance of order with the government and the cabinet. And we are not seeing that. So we have to make a call to the churches, the unions, the chamber, the bar association, the NYC. We have to call on all other civil society groups. We cannot become immune to this level of criminal activity. We cannot become numb to it that, well, it's another murder. I mean, the gruesome pictures that appear on our telephones. I know some of the media houses cannot even show some of the pictures. And I have to applaud those who posted some of the photos on social media and at least covered the worst parts of those photos. I mean, can you imagine a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old in primary school who has access to social media? This is a daily occurrence in St. Lucia today. This is not a movie we are watching. This is not Rambo we are watching. This is the reality of life in St. Lucia. And I am saying that if the government is not going to do anything about it, as they have shown that they are incapable, or at least their moves have not paid dividends. We gave them suggestions, and they have an affinity with Deglo. They said they put it in the garbage. The suggestions made by this United Workers' Party. And we have a right as citizens of this country to demand better from our government. The crime situation, it's not getting any better. And if we believe that waiting on the government is going to solve the problem, for almost 3 years, we have seen it is not working. So, we continue to see the escalation in crime. The number of ministers has not had a positive impact on crime reduction. A minister for crime prevention, maybe we can call him the minister of crime escalation, not the minister of crime prevention. And I appeal to the government to reconsider what they have done to the young man by changing the title of the ministry. But they have not done so, so we have to respond appropriately. This is our St. Lucia. This is our country. We are seeing the restrictions that all other countries are imposing. I don't want to have to run and hide in America or England or Canada. This is our homeland, and we need to help the government take charge of the situation. We have offered, and as indicated by the political leader and leader of the opposition, we want to meet with civil society. We believe that there should be community meetings. We believe that there should be church meetings. We believe that there should be the sports clubs, the mothers groups, the fathers groups, if they still exist, the teachers unions, everybody. We have seen an escalation in criminal activity even at our schools. Where is the gentleman who was supposed to be in charge of giving direction to school security? So with all of this that we have highlighted, We are not gloating over the crime situation. We are saying that we need to put our shoulders to the wheel. Obviously, the government said they do not want to engage us. They do not want our ideas. But we cannot sit by and allow St. Lucia to go down the drain because we have an incompetent government. So my appeal to all listening, right-thinking St. Lucians, let us do our part. Let us meet. Let us come up with ideas and solutions. We have some ideas we have been sharing, but they are falling on deaf ears. So I appeal to everyone, let us not pretend that what is happening is not happening. It is real, and we are en route to becoming what Haiti is, and we cannot afford to allow that to happen to our sweet St. Lucia. Thank you.
Do you have any questions for Deputy Political Leader Guy Joseph on the issue of crime? Okay, so we've heard from our political leader on the CIP crisis. We've heard from Guy Joseph on the crime crisis. Our country is in trouble, our country is in crisis, but we as an opposition will not sit idly by and allow our country to deteriorate in this manner. You'll be hearing more from us during the course of this week, especially on the subject of crime. We'll be on the various talk shows. You will hear Meet the Opposition on a round table. We'll be further elaborating on the subject. We also want to engage civil society, and we are calling on all St. Lucians, including civil society organizations, to come forward in light of the fact that very little to nothing is being done by government. It is our country. We have a responsibility to step up and to see what it is that we can do. First of all, to jolt the government into appropriate action and to let it be known that this is not a failed state that will be run over by criminals, and that we as a law-abiding citizens would be at the mercy of criminals. So I want to thank all of you today. I want to thank those who are viewing on social media. I want to thank those in the diaspora who are following, and I want to thank my colleagues, Political Leader Honorable Alan Chasney, Deputy Political Leader Guy Joseph, and my other colleagues who are present. I want to express special thanks to you, the media. I know you are very stretched these days, having to cover a homicide every 5 minutes, it appears. And let us not forget that in the last week, we have had at least 6 homicides. While a bloodbath continues, the government showers itself in praise. Thank you very much.